he was physically grabbed by one of the security guards, and you know, maybe just correct me if I'm wrong, but are people allowed to put their hands on other people?
By law, no. However, there are circumstances where it is allowed. Okay. So I don't know what all the circumstances were prior to anybody putting their hands on anybody, so I'm not going to get into that right this second.
Fair enough.
It's terrible.
This is a public service. I can bring a witness in, right?
We got you got your camera going. I got my camera.
In one of my
all right. Well, then we're
witnesses.
talking outside. We'll talk outside. Let's go.
You can go here if he wants to stand out. Whatever. I don't know why this lieutenant's acting weird like that.
Yeah.
So what's up?
What was your name?
Lieutenant Ousterman, Ousterman.
And you have an identification number?
31043.
All right. So we were at the health
And you
department.
are?
What's that?
And you are?
My friends call me Foshin.
Foshi?
Foshin. It's
Foshin?
the second time someone says Foshin.
I'm sorry. Sorry, man.
We were. I was up at the health department. They have a FEMA location.
Yes.
At the health department, and we went to the health department and we attempted to videotape inside the FEMA location. It's a government office.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't think I have it on me, but everything that is allowed in that office is codified in law. So there's signage out there that says that you can't film on the property, and then it refers to the law. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the law is 41 CFR 102-74.420.
It's a lot of numbers to remember, man.
So, and what that does is it's for photographs, for news purposes, advertising, commercial purposes, and then there's some subsections that clarify when and who is allowed to record.
Okay.
Subsection C is for news, and filming for news purposes is permitted. So I'm just trying to set the stage that we were in a place that we were lawfully allowed to be doing something that is protected by the Constitution. It's constitutionally protected activity, filming our government in the course of their duty.
Okay. Let just 1 second.
Yeah.
You're setting that stage. Let me just set the stage of that. As you know, I wasn't there, so I don't know what signage they have up and don't have up based on my own personal knowledge right this second.
Sure.
Okay. Get it.
All right. So I didn't go into the office, but one of the people I was with went into the office.
When you say into the office,
So
like into like the FEMA area?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll call this the FEMA area, and then
Okay.
outside we'll just call it county property.
Department of Health.
Yeah,
Yep.
Department of Health. So I was in the Department of Health.
Okay.
And when we showed up, they just opened the door and walked in like anybody would seeking
Correct.
services. So they got into the door, and I was behind them. I couldn't go through because there were security guards there.
Okay.
So I didn't force my way in.
Okay.
The security guards told us that we couldn't come into the building, and we tried to explain the specific CFR is here, and it says explicitly that we're allowed to do what we're doing.
Okay.
So again, just setting the stage.
Yeah. No. I got you. I got you.
So it got to a point where the first gentleman that said he talked to you afterwards,
Yep.
he was physically grabbed by one of the security guards, and he was physically grabbed by one of the security guards, and you know, maybe just correct me if I'm wrong, but are people allowed to put their hands on other people?
By law, no. However, there are circumstances where it is allowed. Okay. So I don't know what all the circumstances were prior to anybody putting their hands on anybody, so I'm not going to get into that right this second.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. So that was that gentleman.
Okay.
One of the other gentlemen was also there, and again, he was the first gentleman I'm talking about who was videotaping. He stepped into the space, and the security. This is we'll call this the entryway. You know, he's not in the space. He's at the entryway out of the space.
Okay.
And so he's videotaping. That's all he's doing. Security guard puts his hands on him. All right, and he tries to push the security guard away from him because, you know, if somebody touches me that I don't want touching me, I think I have a right to protect myself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so so that's kind of where things were when the police showed up.
Okay.
I don't remember the sergeant's name.
Sergeant Rininger.
Yeah, it was Sergeant Rininger. There were a couple other officers there, and
Those I'm not sure about, but I know Sergeant Rininger was there.
so it was Rininger that is the person I'm complaining about specifically. But you know, so officers showed up and they went into FEMA to get FEMA's side of the story. Okay, because right, there's always two sides of the story, and then there's the video camera side of the story, right?
And the truth somewhat.
Yeah. So the officer went inside and got FEMA's side of the story,
Okay.
and then came outside and arrested my friend. He didn't ask him his side of the story, and this is the person that was grabbed, and he tried to push away the assault. He has video evidence of this. He tried to push away the assault, you know, the assailant.
Okay.
And Sergeant Rininger put him in handcuffs and took him away.
Okay.
You know, he told us that he's being charged with a felony for defending himself. And now this guy's gonna have to adjudicate this through court because he defended himself, while the person that commits the assault, they, you know, the officers looked at the evidence, but nothing was done. I don't understand if we can't defend ourselves against unlawful action, then what kind of society do we have?
No, you're allowed to defend yourself against unlawful action. Absolutely, you are.
Can we get this guy out of jail?
And again, I wasn't there. I don't know all the circumstances.
Sure.
Okay.
And neither was the officer.
Okay. I don't know, and we're here talking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're telling me every single detail or not.
Yeah, probably not, right?
You know.
Yeah.
So there are details that might be missing. That, you know, that's why the arrest was made.
Oh.
You know, I can tell you that prior to the arrest being made, I was informed about what was going on.
Okay.
I do know that our our legal attorney that we utilize was informed and not necessarily questioned, but had an idea of what was going on. Okay, so I think there's more to it that what happened, and that's the reason why the arrest was made.
Okay. But you don't know why the arrest was made, because they came out and they didn't ask any questions.
As far as I know, without reviewing anything right this second, the arrest was made for battery on the security officer.
With no, so do the officers look at the totality of the situation? Why somebody, I mean, if you put your hands on me right now, I would assume that I would be safe in defending myself. Unless you said to me you're under arrest.
If you're doing something absolutely nothing wrong and didn't do anything wrong, I should really have no reason to put my hands on it.
So is videotaping in a public building, is that a law? Is that lawful activity?
It is my understanding,
Yeah.
from what I was told today, is that FEMA it's posted, again, I wasn't there, I'm just telling you what I was told, is that it is posted that in the FEMA area that is being leased by the being leased from the Department of Health, is that there is no recording allowed in that area.
Okay. Yeah.
And
there is a posted sign that says as much, and this is the sign I started by talking about. It says no photography, and then it has a CFR written under it. And the CFR, if you'd like, I can show you the CFR. I think it's like 5 sentences, but it gives the specific and express permission to do what we're doing. It's photographs for news purposes may be taken in foyers, lobbies, entrances, auditoriums for news purposes. So, you know, I understand what you're saying. If I was just going in there and, you know, I was, you know, just doing a video for fun, or if I was in there shooting a commercial, yeah, there's times and places where permission is needed, but there's also time and place where we have freedom of press rights, and they can't be restricted by the federal government. You know, they might want to say that freedom of press isn't allowed on federal property, but naturally we know that our rights are secured to us by the Constitution, and FEMA doesn't get to say, your rights
Daytona Beach
aren't valid,
Police. Help you.
right?
And again, I wasn't there. I don't know what postings they have, what postings they don't have. I don't know the exact wording of what it says and doesn't
Let
say.
me ask.
So I can only, based on the conversation that you and I are having, and based on the conversation that I had with Sergeant Rininger, to basically tell me that an arrest was being made for battery on a security officer.
Okay, so, I mean, and again, this is information you may not know, but why is it DPD's policy to get both sides of the story?
I would have to say, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that exact wording is in policy. It's in policy to do a complete investigation.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you know, we showed. I can't remember the young lady's name. You probably have a lot of officers, so young blonde officer. I can't remember her name, but she came out. She was very professional, and we showed her some video evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Some video evidence of one of our friends being assaulted, and it just seems like you guys took action. Maybe you guys did have physical evidence, video
Mm-hmm.
evidence. You took action on this one thing and took FEMA's side without getting the whole story. And then when we showed you video evidence of the same exact thing occurring, but where FEMA is the party responsible, you guys took no action. So it puts the people in a pretty chilling situation when we're there to stand up for our constitutional rights,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're carted out for assault when we were assaulted. I mean, can you at least appreciate what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you. I understand what you're saying, but again, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I don't know if there was any verbiage in between between you walking in and you being the guy that was arrested.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you walking in the door while you're recording, and the security guard coming up and putting his hands on him. I don't know if there was any verbiage. I don't know if there was an exchange of verbiage. Okay.
Is there an assertion that there was?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I don't know if there is.
I just woned because you said you talked to the sergeant before the arrest.
As far as I know, him was informed that he was not allowed to record inside the FEMA room.
Right.
And he refused to stop, and that's why the argument happened or something happened between him and the security guard. Security guard gets touched, battered. Okay, I was told hit with an object. Don't know exactly what.
Hit with an object as he had his hands on another man.
Again, okay, I don't know. And that he was being arrested. He was being arrested for the battery on the security officer.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like the assertion you were just making was because FEMA said we couldn't record, we can't record. Is that because the law said otherwise?
What if there's an assertion? My assertion would be is that, and this again, I don't know, I wasn't there, was that the security guard, based on him recording and based on the security guard's knowledge or understanding that no recording was supposed to happen in that room, he asked the gentleman to leave. The gentleman refused to leave.
Okay, so in
again,
a situation,
I wasn't there.
Yeah, in a situation like that, do the people have an obligation to follow the law, or what some random person says the law is, even if it's not the law?
I wouldn't say necessarily an obligation. I would turn around and say, why couldn't there have been, okay, I'm going to back out of the room, I'm going to go over here, and can we discuss this?
Yeah.
Instead of doing the argumentative thing within the area that the gentleman is asking you to leave.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I was there last Wednesday and I did exactly what you said. I said, okay, you guys say there's no recording, I'm going to step out here in the lobby, let's have a discussion about this. And they didn't want to have a discussion. And when I said
that, I can't help.
Yeah, of course not. But I'm just saying, at some point we get to the point where we say, no, I'm not going to leave, because when I leave, you pretend the problem doesn't exist, right?
Or it's he won and you don't want him to win.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, I mean, perhaps, but I'm just reading the law.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And
I'm just.
What else do we have to go on?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're a nation of laws. I mean, if we read a law and it says you can do something, and then somebody's telling us we can't do it, well, you know, I think we have a duty as American citizens, as one of the people, to stand up for our constitutional rights and say that this is not okay. I guess, Lieutenant, what I'm really looking for is we're charging this man with a felony for defending himself, and there's no consideration for the totality of the story. You know what I mean?
I got you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So I mean, can we do something? Can we get this gentleman out of jail? Can we look at the totality? Can we look at the whole story and say, oh, there is more to this story. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
I could get with Sergeant Rininger, and I can get with him, and I can talk to him about it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Should I wait?
That's totally up to you.
Is there evidence that we can give you to make your job easier?
There's nothing guaranteeing what you're looking for is going to happen.
I mean, I'm just looking for, you guys swore an oath to the Constitution too.
Absolutely.
You know, so
absolutely,
it's just it paints a really bad picture because it's not FEMA that's going to catch the heat for this. It's DPD, and you know, for the most part, DPD was good. DPD was good on Thursday when they came back with me last week. But to pull a man out of the building for defending himself, it just seems like that's not the kind of police department. I mean, it's not the kind of city I want to live in for sure.
If that is the absolute case, you're right.
Okay.
If that's the absolute case.
So I mean, is there a way I can get you evidence so you can review it? And I mean, I just want the guy out of jail. It's wrong what's happening. I mean, I think we have a duty to right wrongs, right?
Yep.
I mean, hopefully.
Are you able to send me the video?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I give you my email address,
absolutely.
You can send it to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
Hey, you got a blank piece of paper, please?
Unfortunately, I don't have a business card with all my information on it, so I am just going to write it down, and hopefully my handwriting is neat enough for you to understand it.
There's obviously going to be some time delay in getting all these videos to you, but you know, hopefully we can still have that conversation with the sergeant and just, you know, maybe have a discussion about how maybe what we're doing isn't right here.
That's me, Lieutenant Ousterman, 31043. That's my office number directly, and then it's my last name, first name Ray at DDPD. .us.
Okay. I appreciate that.
All right, you're able to read that, right?
Yes.
I know I don't have the best
Yeah, no,
handwriting.
you're good. I appreciate
Computer
it.
day and age, my handwriting
And
sucks.
you know, just you know, I think this is the incident that the other gentleman's going to talk about, but you know, this is the security guard at FEMA, and this is a man that wasn't with us.
What's your question? Sorry.
So this man isn't with us,
Okay.
You want to know if they did a report?
and I mean, that's assault, right? Definitionally.
It is.
I mean,
However-
without the sound.
However, well, it's not even without the sound, but
Give you a
what
case
happened before that is you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, unless he put his hands on him, it doesn't really matter.
Well, unless
Yeah.
he's asking him to leave and he's refusing to leave.
But the problem with that is
Did they do
why
anything
you don't get
to
to just
the
ask
report?
everyone to leave public
I
property.
get it.
I mean, is
I
that
get
true
it.
though?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But
So I mean, if he asked him to leave and he said,
They-
well, "I'm here for services," of course I'm not going to leave.
But
and
there
then he
could be
puts
that
his hand
whole,
on him.
he's obviously recording, there could be that whole, it's posted no recording, he asked him to leave, he's refusing him to leave, so he's escorting him out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Posted and not
You know.
record though. You understand?
I'm
Yeah, you're just saying it to
I'm
say
just-
you understand my
yes,
side.
absolutely,
Okay.
I get it. However, what you've got to understand also, and a lot of other
Yeah, there's
people,
perspective. This is just a clip. I get
exactly,
that.
that's
Yeah.
a clip of
And it was a Daytona.
what was happening when you became present. We don't know what happened prior to you
Yeah.
becoming present.
So all I'm saying is that our friend was taken out of
Yes.
out in handcuffs,
And-
and this he's gonna go home. He's gonna have a nice day, you know. But I would venture to say this was much
27.
more aggressive than what happened to that other security guard.
I'm hearing you. I really am.
Okay, I appreciate
Okay.
that, and
And it was on the Ridgewood.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay.
He's probably gonna want
Yep.
to talk to you because it happened to him.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, you know,
Absolutely.
I know him now, but
Yep.
you know, I don't know, you know, he's got more evidence.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
You have a good one.